Greetings and welcome. My name is Jamie Sparks. I serve as the Kentucky SHAPE Network Director for the Kentucky Department of Education. My email, if you have further questions from this overview, is found here on the screen. jamie.sparks@education.ky.gov. We're going to cover the uses of social media, specifically focusing on how the SHAPE Network is using both Twitter and Facebook to engage teachers around our state and a professional learning community. I'd like to first introduce you to the rest of the Kentucky SHAPE Network staff. With the Department of Education, we have Stephanie Bungie. With the Department for Public Health, we have Nicole Barber-Colt. And also with the Kentucky Department of Education, we have Audra Deely-Hoofnagel. Each of their Twitter accounts can be found here at sbungie_CSH, at Colt_Barber, and at Audra_CSH. What is the Kentucky SHAPE Network? Kentucky SHAPE Network was developed through a federal grant through Centers for Disease Control. All 50 states are funded under this cooperative agreement, and the money goes to the Department for Public Health. So the Department of Education, in collaboration with the Department for Public Health, have created our Kentucky SHAPE Network, which is our Kentuckyized way of having a coordinated school and health approach across the state. SHAPE in our situation simply stands for School Health and Physical Education. So as we look at wellness policy implementation, we look at alignment to school accountability with program review, Kentucky SHAPE Network is our approach for doing that. What does the Kentucky SHAPE Network look like? We're working with the same plan the Kentucky Department of Education used for ELA and math implementation with Common Core, and that's engagement through regional networks. Thus far, in year one of our plan, we worked with 4 of the regional co-ops. Here on the map, Eastern Kentucky, we worked with KEDC and KVEC, as well as GREC down in the West Central region, and OVEC up around the region just surrounding Jefferson County, including that region there in the orange. With the Common Core networks that the Department of Education did, we had full-time specialists. In our case, we have our full-time staff that was just introduced, as well as in early 2015, we do plan on hiring stipend positions in each of the regions we'll be engaging. We'll be spreading the SHAPE Network trainings this coming summer to work with more of those regions than just the initial 4. So in each of those regions that we will have contact, we will have 1 elementary specialist and 1 middle school, high school specialist. Those, as I said, will be stipend positions, so there will be full-time teachers that are champion. And really what we're looking for is people that we can work and partner with in a virtual capacity. So people with strong backgrounds with Twitter, with Facebook, with social media is certainly going to be some of the criteria that we're looking for in those specialists. Recently, Kentucky hosted the Southern Obesity Summit, and so that's kind of the reason we wanted to kind of reiterate some of the things that we did for social media from Southern Obesity. And so I was asked with that event to create a Twitter tutorial, and so this is kind of my attempt to do that and just get other people thinking about that. I will be the first to admit I was late to the game with Twitter. Prior to that, I was late to the game with texting. When texting first came out, many like many of you are now currently with Twitter, it just didn't seem to make sense and seemed to be silly. And I remember being resistant to texting and then realizing that if a game, when I was coaching, if a game got canceled or practice rescheduled, rather than making 14 or 15 individual phone calls and leaving messages and hoping people got those messages, sending 1 message to 14 people via text was a whole lot easier way to communicate. And so we look at Twitter. We want to talk about Twitter and ways we can communicate with Twitter, that we can share, and the purposes that it has for not only spreading news and updates, but dissemination of information quickly and instantly. And so that's what we want to cover today. So real quickly, what is Twitter? It's simply microblogging. blogging is a big thing, but Twitter is microblogging because it is limited to 140 characters or less. So that is one of the things that tends to be very challenging with Twitter and tends to keep people away. But when utilized properly, it can certainly be a great source of news, sharing, video, web links, and other things. And we'll go through some of this. Who should I follow? As I mentioned, follow along with our state staff. And today we're going to be talking about how you can use this hashtag KYSHAPE. So you hear the word hashtag a lot. That's simply the number sign, KYSHAPE. And basically what the hashtag does, it just unites a conversation. Our KYSHAPE is very generalized. I'll show you an example of one that's specific towards an event that's coming up, and we'll show you how that works. So when you're at an event, it's a way to connect with people that are there to share reflections and various things. But the hashtag KYSHAPE is one that we will keep going for the next several years, and so it's just an ongoing hashtag that you can use to share what's going on in your school, to share challenges, to share barriers, and to share successes. So we'll show you some examples of how to use a hashtag in just a few minutes. What should you say? Tweet what you're learning. Sharing pics, websites, videos. Colleagues and peers will benefit and learn from your own experiences, and that's certainly what I have found in my nearly 2 years of utilizing Twitter. I will honestly say about 80% of news I get professionally, I would think probably comes from Twitter. Not newsletters, not websites. I tend to get overwhelmed with all those things, where with Twitter, it's easier to keep up with people that are in the know, that are in our field, that are sharing. And so most of my professional learning, the majority certainly comes from Twitter today. So we're going to skip over and start looking at Twitter a little bit. So I'm going to jump over to a website and show you what that looks like. And before I do that, let me switch back over to my Internet Explorer. And I'm simply going to start with Google. So I'm here at Google, and rather than going into my Twitter account, I just want to show you how a hashtag works even if you do not have a Twitter account. So if you simply do the hashtag that I referenced a while ago, which is hashtag KYSHAPE, once I hit that hashtag and hit enter, it's going to bring up my results, and I was practicing earlier, so you kind of see, you can tell I've already clicked on this. And so when I click on that, it goes to twitter.com, hashtag KYSHAPE, so it pulls it up. I'm not logged in or registered right now, so this is what anybody would see if they Googled hashtag KYSHAPE. And we'll go through these similar features by logging in just a second. But you'll notice here's the results. So anybody in the world that has posted using hashtag KYSHAPE, you'll find those results here. Now you'll notice there's two different things here. We have a top. So the top, the one that has the most views or the most retweets will usually be right here, but you're also going to search it by all. So I'm going to switch over to all. And what all will do is give you the search of that hashtag in a chronological order. And so these are the way they've been listed out in order. So you'll see I've been posting some things. We've been doing a lot of work with wellness policies, with our co-ops and partnerships with that. And so we've had a lot of that work going on. So I've been sharing that work. Jessica Lawrence is coming to a KYSHAPE convention coming up. So she was sharing her presentation that will be on Monday at the state convention. If you scroll down, you'll start to see some other conversations occurring. Audra, who you saw earlier, is on our state staff. She was recently at an event with the Alliance for Healthier Generation, so you'll see that she shared a picture with J.C. Woolley there, who's Alliance for Healthier Generation manager. You'll go down and see some farm to school. So you can scroll these chronologically based on who's used these. The other cool thing about the searching that is you can also narrow it down by what content you're looking for. So for instance, if you want to just see how many people have been posting photos from the classroom or other events using this particular hashtag, you click the photo button, and then you just get the photos that come up. So here you've seen the photos that we just referenced that came from that event that Audra just recently had posted, so you can click on those pictures and get more information. At the Southern Obesity Summit, the Kentucky Board of Education Health Subcommittee, we hosted a meeting there, and so there's pictures from our meeting. So there's some of our state board members, our policy advisor to the commissioner doing a Go Noodle break during the Health Subcommittee meeting. Here you can see people in the room that were being led during that activity. Here's a view from the back of the room during some of the discussions we had. We had some students with Fuel Up to Place 60. that were our Fuel Up to Play national ambassadors. And so here are those students pictured there. And so that picture's from D'Artagnan Coots of Covington Independent. And so those are his students that he brought down to the meeting, and they were recognized. You scroll down and continue to see conversations that have been occurring. I see a picture of Ben Collier with Humana Vitality at one of the summer trainings we did. Recently we had an event at the White House with Let's Move Active Schools and superintendent leaders from around the country. So those are photos that have been posted using hashtag KYSHAPE. As I said, there's many ways to sort it. You can also go up and click the video button. So anybody using hashtag KYSHAPE, if you have something from your classroom or things that you've posted onto YouTube, this is simply a way that it will filter those videos down to where you're reducing the content and finding what you need. As I mentioned Humana Vitality earlier, those are the main videos we come up. You see this summer we did 4 different trainings around the state, and one of the things we shared at each one of those trainings was our partnership and collaboration with Humana Vitality. So we have a YouTube video that Jayla Miller was able to do for us, and so that's kind of an overview of how you use Humana Vitality. So it's a great video to share with your staff, getting them engaged to go beyond just the Living Well promise. So each one of these you'll see a repeat of the same video, but you'll notice it was from each of the trainings. So here was the one where we were at GREC down in Bowling Green. Here's the same video we shared with the people when we were at OVEC at that training. And as you go down, you'll see the ones that have come up then there's the one from KEDC. So there's the videos we have so far using the hashtag KYSHAPE. I mentioned a second ago that this KYSHAPE will be an ongoing hashtag. I'll back this up just to show you. Well, let's do this. Let me go ahead and log in. So this is what anybody would be able to see. But in order to actually go into your account and see what it looks like from there, you'll see there's a sign up for Twitter button here, so you can create your login, your full name, email, and a password. I'm already registered, so I'm going to click the login button. Now you'll see that it's logged into my account. It did log right in from the hashtag, so it brings right up where we were looking at on the general page. Once again, I can click back to the Everything button, and it'll pull up everything related to KYSHAPE, just like we saw. But now I can actually tweet from here. So I'm actually logged into my account, so I can send messages and various things from here. Before we interact with the hashtag KYSHAPE some more, let me show you an example. So this weekend, coming up Sunday, November the 16th, we have our state convention kicking off. And so we did not have a fall convention last year because we were hosting Southern District SHAPE in Lexington. And so we have personalized the hashtag this year for KFERD. And so that hashtag is simply KFERD14. So KAHPERD 14. So when you search that hashtag, hit enter in the search button. And then you can do, once again, you'll have the top or the all. So if we click on the all button, these are once again will be chronological. And so this is just a hashtag that we just recently started using this past week that's very specific towards the fall convention. And so we're encouraging other people as they come to share what's going on. So as you come to the convention, you'll see this hashtag charted up different places and being utilized. And so you'll see some posts that I have made on here. You'll see Mimi Ratliff from Jefferson County, a very active, great person to learn and follow on Twitter. One of my mentors that's taught me a lot about social media. RMC Health, the company out of Colorado, so they were sharing and replied to one of the things we were doing. You also see Jessica Lawrence again, as she used both hashtags in her post about her session coming up. Taylor Haydock, another Jefferson County teacher, sharing that she's going to be attending. So this hashtag is just beginning to be used, but just another way that, as you see, as people go to this convention, rather than being one person in one room, it's really a way to share what you've learned, how you're going to use it, to share pictures, to share resources, and various things. So it really is a great way to a great conducive way of professional learning. I want to switch back over to the PowerPoint just for the sake of showing you the same features and what it would look like from a mobile device. So within a mobile device, these are just screenshots that I took straight from my phone. So you log in, download the app, log in just like you would from the website, and then here's what the app looks like within that. So this would be my home page. Here's my tweet compose button. So I'm already logged in, so I can compose a tweet. I simply click this upper right button right here, the little feather with a little box. You'll see it keeps track of your total tweets, how many people are following you, and how many followers you have. And then if you're on the Me tab, you'll notice there's 4 tabs across the bottom. The Me tab is everything that you have tweeted. So if you want to go back and look at your tweets, you click the Me, and that'll bring up everything that you have sent out. Everybody that you follow, so this thread here will be under your timelines. And so as they post, you can scroll through your timelines. Obviously, the more people you follow, the more encompassing that is, and the harder it is to keep up with. But that's really the reason it's important to use the Twitter names, because people will get notifications. For instance, if you do your practice tweet and say, I'm so excited to learn more about hashtag KYSHAPE, thanks for sharing at Jamie Sparks CSH. So you use my name in a Twitter post, in a tweet, that will send me a notification. So anytime that your name is used, you will get notifications here. If somebody replies to a tweet that you do, here's a reply button. If somebody retweets what you say, there's the little recycle button is a retweet button. Notice mine is not there because that was my own, so you can't retweet your own, so that's the reason it's deactivated there from that screenshot. And then the star is a favorite button. So anytime that you put a tweet out and somebody interacts with that, or they use your name, you're going to get a notification pop up within your Twitter account. There's ways you can manage that. You can have those just sent to your phone, you can have them texted to you, you can have them emailed to you, or you can turn them all off. So there's lots of ways to manipulate that. The search button, once again, just like we showed from the website, would look like this. So you click the search, hashtag KYSHAPE, and again, you're going to find the same features you found online, very similar. There's top tweets option, there's all tweets option, and again, you'll see the same tweets using hashtag KYSHAPE that we just showed you from the previous web version of Twitter. If you hit the tweet button, as I said, so in the upper right corner, there's a tweet button. Or compose. So if you're going to type one, you hit the button right up here, and then when you do that, you get the type screen. So if you do it from the search button, it'll actually it'll bring up the hashtag KYSHAPE right away. Then you have a counter. So that right there was 9 characters long. So you'll notice I said earlier it was 140 characters with Twitter. So we're down to 131 characters. The good thing is if you want to add a picture, you click the picture button if you've taken a picture from your phone, and that's how you upload that. That picture will use characters, but you can do up to 3 or 4 pictures depending on size within one post. So you can post multiple pictures to the same tweet. So that is an option for you to use. And the more pictures, 1 picture or 3 pictures take up the same amount of characters. So that's important to know that you can do multiple pictures. If you do a website or you copy a link in, I do that a lot. Earlier today I posted in the KYSHAPE convention agenda, and so you can just simply copy and paste that from your web browser on your phone and hit paste in here, and it actually will reduce the number of characters. So even though your website maybe look like it's 50-some characters long for the web address, Twitter will reduce that down to a more simplified link, and that way you have more characters to use for typing. That's kind of a quick overview of Twitter. There's all sorts of tutorials out there, but I really wanted to make this one Kentucky specific and talk about our KYSHAPE plan and really get people engaging and interacting with that and knowing how to do that, and hopefully just this brief overview kind of gets you more familiar. The other thing that we have done that I want to quickly share that is important and that is Facebook. While we have found 30 to 40% of our teachers are comfortable in using and engaging with Twitter, we know that the majority of people today certainly have Facebook. It is one of the world's largest social media platforms. And so in order to cross that threshold of comfort, we also created a Facebook group page. And so I want to quickly go into that and just show you that everything that we share on Twitter, we also do it within Facebook. So here's my personal Facebook profile, and then you'll see the different groups I belong to. All the groups I belong to are professional groups. So we do have a state Kentucky physical education health teacher group. That is a very large group. And then the other thing we did with our 4 regional trainings is we created this hashtag KYSHAPE group. So if you're looking for that on Facebook, simply go to Find New Groups, enter hashtag KYSHAPE, and then you can ask to join to be a member of this group. So there are several different professional ones out there. Everything that we post on Twitter, you will see we normally post over here to Facebook as well. We know that there's not a one-size-fits-all to communication and dissemination of resources. And so once again, this is just another tool or resource that's out there for you to get in and discuss and share what you're doing. Thank you for your time, and we hope this has been beneficial. Again, if you have questions or you want to go more in depth with any of these, please don't hesitate to contact me or any of our state staff. Thank you very much.